Hi, welcome to my craft room. Carol Gatton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've made a male birthday card, but you could change that verse and it could be Father's Day or whatever occasion you'd like. This is a square card, 10 by 5 out of the Smoke Slate cardstock. I'm going to continue to show you more tips using the Stamp-a-ma-jig so that we ensure we have a nice, clear, crisp image. This is the Balloon Bash stamp set, and this is just perfect. And I'm using many of the stamps in this set. Have you ever worked with the two-way glue pen? It's temporary if you let the glue dry first, and it is a permanent if you immediately use it. The first thing you want to do is pump the glue into the nozzle by pumping up and down, and now I am just going up and down my vanilla cardstock, and I will set this aside so it completely dries. I will not be using my imaging sheet this time, just my arm. I have adhered my vanilla cardstock onto a scrap of paper, and I'm bringing in my paper piercing mat. Sometimes when you're working with the polymer stamps, you may find that you need a little bit of cush. And the paper piercing mat, if you have it, that's perfect. Otherwise, just stack up a few magazines and use them. I'm inking up our verse in the pool party. And so let's walk you through the steps of getting this so that you have no problem. See how my left finger is right at that corner? I want to make sure that that is absolutely flush with the top and along that side. Now I will lift that back up and re-ink it a second time because our image isn't really very clear at this point. And you know, this can discourage us as stampers if we stamp this and it's like you can barely see it. Once again, my finger is gliding that down along the side and at the top. And when you're doing multiple stampings like this, it's crucial that you keep that stamp right at the side and at the top. And now that's my third time, so I can really put some pressure to it now. And wow, didn't that turn out good? What I'm going to do now is release this from my scrap paper, and I'm just going to cut across the top here because I want to adhere another panel onto the back because I want to add a little bit more body to this cardstock for my banner. I'm using the Anywhere glue stick. So just adhere your scrap of paper onto there and set it aside and let it dry. I'm using just the happy birthday on this stamp. So all you need is just a little scrap of paper. I'm using the cherry cobbler ink. And whoopsie, I'm kind of heavy-handed. I've got a paper towel here to wipe that off. And now when you go to stamp this, you want to bring that up near the top of your cut edge and then just press that on. And I don't recommend that you put your finger on the verse part because it'll go in too deeply. Now cut away that red and trim underneath it the same distance and start to make your banner. This piece is way larger than what I'm even going to need, but I have several other projects I'm going to be doing with this double layered cardstock, and so I thought I'd just go ahead and do it for the video and then use it. But I'm only putting my two-way glue pen, as you can see, halfway because I only need just a small portion. Let me get this trimmed out so that we are ready to get this on our card when everything has dried. Let me show you once again how to cut into our notch. First of all, I cut with the tip and I cut right into where I want the notch to end. And then I am trimming in on both sides. And it's better to leave a little bit too much than not enough. You can't put it back. Now let me go ahead and finish trimming this out. And now let's take a look and see how it looks. Now I just wanted just a little bit of the vanilla showing. So I think what I'm going to do is just take off just a tiny bit here. And like I said, it's better to have too much than not enough. Okay. Now this is all dried, so I'm going to put that onto a scrap of paper once again. And my arm is going to fit right in there. I'm going to ink up the top portion of my balloon. All I need is the top. I'm not going to use the string. Make sure that that is flush with the top and the side. And you can see that's kind of a poor image. We really need that to be a lot stronger. So I'm repeating that a second time, re-ink it, and that looks fabulous, but we're going to do it one more time just to show you the contrast. And look how neat that looks. I've done a rough cut on this, and now I'm going to trim this out, and then I will get my bone folder, and I want to shape this. I'm going to mold it in the shape of a balloon. I'm working from the inside to my outer edges. And then I am using the multi-purpose adhesive and the gray baker's twine. And I don't like a little frayed edge, so I'm folding that little frayed edge into, and I'm going to place it right there in that glue. Now, the most important thing that you want to pay attention to here is make sure that that baker's twine is coming right where that balloon knot is, and then out in the center of that area. I'm going to use 2 of my dimensionals, 1 in the center, and then I think I'll cut the second one in half and add it just above that. Now that's all set, and I'll set it aside to dry, and I'll add my dimensions now to my banner. Oops, I forgot to use my bone folder to shape this, so fingers will work. Okay, and I'm going to put 3 on there. Okay, the paper, the designer paper that we are using is the Flashback DSP, and I cut up this pool party strip on the left, and I cut flush with the pool party color, and I'm going to repeat the same thing now to the gray. I don't want any of that vanilla showing on this piece except where it's, you know, in the design. And now once again you get to see me cut a notch. I bet you really are catching on to this. I hope this is helpful to you. If it is, let me know. I love to have feedback. Then I'm going to stagger these, and it's just a slight overlap. But before I do that, I need to cut away my excess. But I always lean towards caution, so I usually leave a little bit extra and then cut it away than to have it for some reason be too short, or me change my mind on how I'm doing it and it not fit. So you can see this is just a very slight overlap. Looks good. Okay, next I am using the Versamark, and this is one of the stamps in this set. It is a confetti, and the Versamark is great because it creates a tone-on-tone effect. Some people call it the watermark look, and I really like it. It just is that one little something that seems to be needed here. So I'm going to stamp this 3 times on the left side, and then I will bring it over to my right side and stamp it a couple of 3 times as well. But just remember, the whole center of this card is going to be that banner, so you need to bring it down a little bit when you go to stamp it on the right side so that it shows up. And now let's put one beside that, and then what's left over I'll just bring in here. And can you see the slight difference? This ruler measures 2 inches across, and I know I've got several new viewers, in which I'm really thrilled that I got some new stampers, my favorite, and I put this here just to help you to eye up to get this straight. It's better to use an aid than to have it crooked. And this just makes it so simple. And you can see how I've got that extended off of the side. And now this is the little verse where I cut it out, I notched it, and I used my corner rounder to round that left side of this. Just another little element that I think just makes it all look good together. And my plans were to stop right here. I was going to just do that, but I decided that it needed just a little something else, and boy, this washi tape is just perfect for little fill-ins. you can see that I have cut it on the angle that this pattern is in the washi tape. The beauty of washi tape is you can lift it up and you can place it back down again and it stays. Isn't that sweet? Now as I look at this, I think I need a little bit more of the Versamark right up in here where my balloon's going to be. I don't want that to be an open spot there. So let's add some there and a little bit more down here. Now the balloon. Just play with this, have fun with this. The idea that I had was that the balloon was wispy and it was like the air was catching it and it was blowing, so that was my idea to go with. And I wanted this to really have some body to it. That's why I doubled my cardstock. I wanted it to stand out. And then I'm going to add a little bit of multi-purpose adhesive on this banner, but before I do that I want to make sure that, once again, that this is not tight. I want to make sure that that has a little bit of give to it. And so right in here where this is wrapped around the packaging, it makes a really nice little knot there for me. And when I cut this out, I planned it that way. I wanted to take advantage of that. And so now I'm going to put just a dot of the multi-purpose here, and it's going to catch my back side of that baker's twine. And then I'll swirl this around and add just a little bit here on the left side. And I am a user of my paper piercing tool. I use it for everything. I don't know if I could get by without it. Okay, and the top needs a little bit of glue on that as well, just to make sure that that stays in place. And just play with this a little bit until you get it just the way you like it, because once it dries, it's there. Okay, we are almost finished. Wow, this has gone fast. Okay, here's our celebrate, and I want this to have a little bit of give to it also, so don't pull it real tight. And be sure and go to my blog. There I will have all the information for purchasing these items and the code numbers and everything that you need, the sizing. So check it out at my blog at stampqueen101.com. And if you like this, make sure and give me a hands up. This is the inside, and I just kind of repeated that same thought with the larger banner on the inside. Well, thanks until next time.